Be clear with you guys for a sec. I know I make a lot of these happy-go-lucky videos, and I know I want light and love for the win, but I want you to know something, okay? A lot of the stuff around us may seem real, and it may be real. And the reason why I don't focus on it is because I want to be solution-based. And this is something that I learned from my pastor that is complete gold. And he said to me, he's like, don't come to me with a problem unless you can come to me with a solution. Because a lot of people will be like, this is wrong, that's wrong, this is like, think about church life, right? And so it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do about it? Like, if this is a problem that you see and God's called you to it, what are you going to do? And so very often I look at that lens when I'm looking like out at the world. People are freaking out about COVID, and I'm like, oh my God, this is happening, that's happening, I'm not wearing a mask, all this stuff we're fighting about, right? And then I thought about it and I was like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do, Charles? How are you going to be the light and love? How are you going to be the salt here? And I still look around at the earth like that, and I'm like, okay, this problem's happening. Even World War III, I'm like, what are you going to do about it, light fam? And part of me is like, I will never pick up a weapon. I will always fight with light and love. I don't care what happens to me, unless God tells me otherwise. I have a strict. I'm not. I'm not going to bring harm to anyone. I don't want that karma on my hands. I don't want to end someone's life. I don't want to even hurt someone. I don't even want to hurt a bird. Like I would probably be a vegan if I had to make my own steaks. Honest. Even sometimes when I see a plant dying, I'm like, no. It's like you realize how in touch you are with all life when this stuff starts affecting you. Vibrationally sensitive people know what I'm talking about. And so when we're out here and we realize, oh, we're not causing harm to anyone. And then we look at humanity and we're like, most of us are good. Like, even if we put all of our religious mindsets and spirituality and even our differences in culture and race, and it's like, if we actually looked around at each other, it's like most of us actually love life of all kinds. Most of us actually love it. And the only reason why we have these issues is because we've been conditioned or hurt or you know what I mean? Like programming. And it's like, okay, well, if all of us decide to bring light and love, to stay at peace at all costs and not fight each other and look for ways that we can unite, look for ways to bring love so that if there is division, right? Because there's Christians and Muslims, and I bring peace and light and love, and I'm like, I just want to know who you are. Like, how's your life? How's your family? Like, we don't even need to talk about the things that we don't have in common, because there are things where we can connect. And I'm like, I just want to connect with you. I want to know who you are as a person. I want to see that light and love come out of you. And maybe we can even share a moment. And maybe we will disagree, but I'm like, you know what? At the very least, I'm still learning from you. Even if I disagree with you, I'll be like, okay, well, at least I know why you think that way. And that actually allows me to be more open and even have a more knowledgeable base so that we can connect, even despite the differences. And I'm like, isn't this the way? Isn't this the way? Like, I can't talk to birds, and the birds might not agree with the things that the humans are doing, but I'm like, here, you know what? I'll bring light and love to you. And they're like, oh, thanks. Come and eat the food. And they take off. And I'm like, share a moment. Share a moment. Connect with the creation that's around you. Be part of the divine. Don't be part of these weird things. Like, sometimes I look at all the war and all the crazy stuff, and then I look at the forest, and all these animals they're just loving life and going around, and the squirrels are climbing the trees, and the birds are doing their thing. And I'm like, you guys aren't worried about anything. Like, what the heck are we worried about? So we need to do this stuff together to recognize the God inside, and just be aware that we all need each other in order to grow past the problems that we have in our everyday lives. I love you guys.